be Candy, our cousin, and who is in March was diagnosed with cancer and is in the midst of a battle right now with it. And we are so thrilled that you're here, Candy, and we want to share your story, and we thank you for the grace you've shown to all of us, and we can show in return.
I want to. This is the first time this has happened to me. My church did this too. But I like the swans. They're particularly
Flamingos!
That's my second favorite animal.
Oh my word, they were so cool. That's almost. You know, I tried to keep changing my hats just so you guys don't get bored with whatever hat I've got on. So, a nice one back there, too.
Yeah, close the door.
I'm going to preface this talk by saying that Pam said to me the other day, have you seen the schedule? You're talking at the reunion. And I said, oh, that Mark, that he just does that to me all the time. He just sticks my name in and says I'm doing this, that, or the other thing. So do I pay any attention to it? No. So, and then all of a sudden, Merv stopped me in the doorway as I was coming in just yesterday or the day before and said, so you are giving a talk. And you know, are you on board with that? And I said, you know, I haven't thought a lot about this, but I thought once Pam said that to me, I better be. You know, I never know what Mark's going to do to me. So the theme of my talk is really going to be something that grew up in all of our lives in Luther Haven. And how many people here can give me an amen that Luther Haven was the best place for it? Amen. The rest of you, you third and fourth generation, will never know the sweetness of Luther Haven. But at Luther Haven, we had a wonderful time. And one of the times that I remember the most is how after we would eat, Uncle Connie, all of you think that Mark is the voice of the Tverberg family. It is not. It's his father, Uncle Connie, who is the voice of the Tverberg reunion. And now he has been replaced quite aptly, I must say, by Mark. And, you know, it couldn't have been a better replacement. But that is who always led us in all of our devotionals and so forth. And one of the songs that we sang was My Hat, It Had Three Corners, which we could do right now. And the other one that we sang very often was God is So Good. And that song has been a theme song as I've been going through this cancer ordeal. And I saw the verse that we sang just a little bit ago. It says, the Lord has promised good to me. Well, on March 10th, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I was sick, really sick. But I thought, you know, I'd eaten with some friends the night before. I ate fried fish and I thought, I don't eat fried fish. So that might be my problem. I got in the car, went to Sioux Falls where I planned to be with some friends for the day. I got to Sioux Falls and I met my friend and I was at her house and all of a sudden we were talking about where we were going to eat, the last thing in the world I could think about doing. And I just said, I need to use your bathroom. And I began throwing up. And for the next number of hours, that was what happened as I kept throwing up. I was in incredible pain in my abdomen. So what she did for me was she gathered together some garbage bags, double bagged them, so that I could drive home because I refused to let her take me to the ER. And I drove 40 miles back to my house with these bags beside me, and I had never really thought for sure whether I was going to pull off the road or just throw up right into the bag while I was driving. But I did make it home, and then I called Pam and I said, Pam, can you come and get me? I think I need to go to my clinic. And she said, well, I just took my car in. Maybe I'll call Don and see if Don can take you. She called me back and said, Don's in Pier. Don can't take you. These are my brothers and sisters. Always there for you. So anyway, Pam managed to get her car out, and we drove to the clinic, or we're going to the clinic in Vermilion. But all of a sudden, the clinic said, "No, don't come here. We think you need to be in ER." So I went to ER, And for the next number of hours, they tried to get rid of the pain inside of me, and they kept trying to. But first they wanted me to do these tests because that's the thing about pain. You're in horrible pain, but they won't do anything with the pain until you got some kind of resolution to your problem. So they figured out that I had a mass from a scan that they took of me, and they sent us then to Sioux Falls. And so we were back in the car. This is now by 5 o'clock at night. This had been going on since 5 in the morning. So we drove back up to Sioux Falls, got into the ER there, and then the doctor started asking questions about when was the last time you had this test, when was the last time you had this test. And Pam sat there and went, no, she doesn't go and have tests done. She doesn't go and have anything done. She threw me under the bus.
Yeah, you should have been.
Yeah, you should have been. And so then they did an ultrasound, and the next thing they said is that you need to be in surgery really fast because you have got a mass that is cancerous. And so this is when the theme that Uncle Connie's came into being, the God is so good. And so from that point on, the things that started to happen was I was diagnosed in 1 week, and one day it was over, and one day I didn't have to go through tests, and I don't know how well I would have done that. Pam would have said maybe I wouldn't have gone. And so I went through the tests. They gave me the diagnosis, and they said we will get in touch with you about surgery soon. And so the next hurdle was that I wanted out of that ER. I did not want to spend the night in the hospital, which is what they wanted me to do because the pain wasn't controlled. Finally, I consented. They gave me a third dose of oxycodone, and by this time I was just singing. I was happy. We got to Pam's house, and I threw up because all the oxycodone. But the next morning, I woke up, and God is so good, the pain was gone. And so it remained gone that time. They figured that the mass had probably flipped over on the ovary had flipped over and had torqued in such a way that I was having this incredible pain. But that was the end of the pain. And so then the next thing that happened was that they scheduled me that Friday for surgery, and I had an excellent gynecological oncologist. She's one of the leading gynecological oncologists in the United States. She is a pioneer in robotic laparoscopic surgery, and she was the one who did the surgery. And I woke up and I thought, well, when are they going to start? And I was done. That was at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. By that evening, or by that night, at 12 o'clock, they had me up and walking, and I was out the door the next day. God was so good because I did not want to stay in that hospital for very long at all. So the next thing that happened was, where was I going to go? I just had this surgery, and even though I was up at midnight walking, I needed to be somewhere. And so, Don and Eileen, let me tell you, if you ever want to go somewhere and have a nice vacation, they put me up in their basement. I had my own suite of rooms down there and a 5-star restaurant upstairs. I was fed just wonderfully. God is so good. Also, standing at the door, besides Don and Eileen to welcome me home, Pam drove me home, was Nurse Beth. Wound nurse, a woman who is used to dealing with all the different, kinds of wounds that I might have, and she took care of me every moment. She slept outside of my door of the room that I was in, made sure that my beds were being taken at the right time and in the right place, and that I was giving shots in the right way, and teaching me how to give myself shots so I didn't get blood clots. And again, God was so good. He was just right there. From that point on, the doctor that I had wanted me to be in a study because of the fact that I had no medical history. I had never been in a hospital. I had no medical history. And when they flipped the page to say, now we're going to talk about your medical history, they said, you don't have any. And so they wanted me in a study because I wasn't going to cloud their results. And so 2 weeks later, that study closed, and I'm now will be a part of it for the next 10 years, supposedly. I'm going to die of a heart attack, which is what my family does. And so anyway, that is where I am now, and as far as I can tell, every step of the way, God is so good. He's so good to me. And the one other thing, Mark, Mark, bless his heart, he does this to me all the time. He gets a hold of me, like just the day or two after I've had this surgery, and says, we need a carrying bridge for you. I mean, I could not even see straight. I'm on oxycodone and I'm floating. And so he said, just give me some idea of what's been going on to you. He set up the carrying bridge, and all of you came in and just have been a wonderful support for me all the way through the last months since March. And so I'm here to say, you know, to have a family and to have a family of faith. And I'm not the only person. We've heard about 3 other people. I think we could go all over in this room and find other stories of people who have had that kind of faith or the group of people to support them in faith that I have. And it would be remarkable as to what that does for you. So I want to thank every one of you for that. And with that, you can now be done.
Thank you very much, Candy.